All right, let's talk about something that can feel like a real monster in math class, the unit circle. You've probably heard of it, you might even be dreading it. Well, today, we're going to take that monster, tame it, and turn it into a tool you can actually use.
I mean, look at this thing. When you see it for the first time, all filled out with those fractions and square roots and pi symbols, yeah, it's a lot. It looks like you're about to spend weeks just trying to memorize it all.
And hey, you're not wrong to feel that way. Even popular math tutors like Nancy Pi call it a necessary evil. It feels like this giant, messy chart that you just have to cram into your head somehow.
But what if I told you that was the completely wrong way to think about it? Seriously, what if you didn't have to memorize that whole thing at all? What if, to unlock the entire circle, all you had to do was really understand this one little slice?
So let's just forget that scary final picture for a minute. We're going to build this thing from scratch. And you're going to see that it's all based on a couple of simple shapes you probably learned about years ago.
So what even is a unit circle? Let's get super basic. It's a circle on a graph. Its center is right at the origin, at 0, 0. And its radius, the distance from the center to the edge, is exactly 1. That's it. The unit part just means 1. Simple as that.
Okay, so where do all those weird coordinates come from? Well, it all comes down to two old friends from geometry class, the 45-45-90 triangle and the 30-60-90 triangle. Believe it or not, these two little guys are the only building blocks for the entire unit circle.
And here's the trick. When you wedge one of these special triangles into the circle, think about it. Its longest side, the hypotenuse, is now the radius of the circle, which means it's always got a length of 1. And because of that, the lengths of the other two sides suddenly become the x and y coordinates for that exact point on the edge of the circle.
And this right here is the central secret to the whole thing. For any angle you can think of on that circle, the x-coordinate of that point is the cosine of the angle. And the y-coordinate, that's the sine. That's the whole game. Cosine is x, sine is y. Say it with me. Cosine is x, sine is y.
So what does that mean? It means you don't need to memorize dozens of points. You only need to know the coordinates for these three key angles in that first little quadrant. For 30 degrees, it's root 3 over 2, 1/2. For 45 degrees, it's root 2 over 2, root 2 over 2. And for 60 degrees, it's 1/2, root 3 over 2. That's it. Just these three.
And this brings us to the most important takeaway of this whole explainer. That first quadrant, that's not just 1/4 of the work, it's your master key. You learn that one little part, and you basically learn the entire thing.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. As the math department at Lamar University points out, if you know the first quadrant, you can get all the other quadrants from it. There's no more memorization required. The rest is just following a really simple pattern.
So how does that work? It's just reflections. It's like a mirror. The actual numbers in the coordinates, they say exactly the same in every quadrant. The only thing that changes is whether they're positive or negative. Just like any other graph. In quadrant 2, the x is negative. In quadrant 3, they're both negative. And in quadrant 4, just the y is negative. It's that easy.
And of course, there's a classic little trick to remember which functions are positive where. You've probably heard it. All students take calculus. In the first quadrant, all are positive. In the second, students tells us sine is positive. Third, take for tangent. And fourth, calculus for cosine. A little cheesy, but hey, it works.
Okay, that's enough theory. Let's see how this actually pays off. It's time to put our master key to work and see just how fast we can start solving real problems. All right, here's a question you'd find on any trig worksheet. Find the exact value of the sine of 7 pi over 6. Now, if you were trying to just memorize the whole circle, you might start sweating. But with our master key, this is a piece of cake.
First up, where are we? Well, 7 pi over 6 is a little bit more than 1 full pi, so that puts us down in quadrant 3. Next up, what's our reference angle? That's just the angle that gets us back to the x-axis, which in this case is pi over 6. And we already know the coordinates for pi over 6, right? We know the y-coordinate, the sine, is 1/2.
And now, the final piece of the puzzle. We're in quadrant 3. Are the y values there positive or negative? They're negative. So the sine of 7 pi over 6 is just negative 1/2. Look at that. No calculator, no stress. Done. Let's do another one. Even faster this time. Ready? What's the cosine of 3 pi over 4?
Okay, let's break it down. Location, that's in quadrant 2. Reference angle, that's going to be pi over 4. We know the x-coordinate for pi over 4 is root 2 over 2. And in quadrant 2, are x values positive or negative? They're negative. So the answer has to be negative root 2 over 2.
See? It's just a system. It works every time.
And you might be thinking, what about tangent or secant? Well, since all the other trig functions are just built from sine and cosine, tangent is just y divided by x, once you know those two coordinates, you automatically have everything you need to find any of the other 6 functions. And why is this so critical to get down? Because this isn't just about one chapter in your textbook. Really getting the unit circle is the foundation for the next level stuff, like inverse trig functions, arcsine, arccos, which are absolutely essential when you get to precalculus and calculus.
So, where do you go from here? You've got the method, you've got the master key, now it's just about making it second nature.
I saw one teacher's worksheet that I thought was pretty brilliant. After the students do some practice problems, they're hit with the Ghost Pepper Challenge, a super fast time test. And I love that, because it turns practice from a chore into a game. It's a challenge to level up your own skills.
Because in the end, that's the real secret. The way to turn the unit circle from a disaster into a powerful tool is just practice. You have the master key now. You know the secret. The only question is, are you ready to open the lock?